Well, hello everybody and welcome. Thanks for watching. Today's topic, an album that I picked up online that I bought um, online. And let me tell you, usually I try to stay away from just buying albums online. Um, Partly because it just takes the fun out of discovering the album itself in the crate, in the used vinyl crates, right? I like to just kind of come across them myself. It seems like shooting fish in a barrel to just find the album and click, okay, gimme. But sometimes you just can't find that album. You've been looking for it forever and it just doesn't pop up. And that's the case with this album here. I used to have it back in the day, back in my punk and new wave collection, lost in the Great Punk Rock Robbery of the 80s. And I've been looking for it and trying to replace it ever since. No go, nothing, no luck. So I finally just decided, I saw a picture of it or something online. Somebody mentioned it or posted a short clip from this band. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get that album. I'm going to seek it out. I'm going to look for it and buy it. And sure enough, somebody repressed the album. Its first time repress since it was first released in 1981, the only re-release of the album. So I thought I better jump on it and grab it while I can. And here it is. Here's the album, Suburban Lawns. Do you know this group? Do you remember this group from the early 80s, new wave, post-punk, uh, vibe that was that wild music vibe that was coming out of the early 80s. Suburban Lawns, they were kind of a local band around here, around the LA area. I don't know if they were big to, where you are out there. Maybe they were just regional. But if you know them, then you know how good this album has the potential to be. And if you don't know them, here's a recommendation. Jump on this album. It can be found online. Okay, and I'll tell you from who I got it from. I love this repress. As I said, it hasn't been repressed since 1981, and this is the only album that these guys put out. I haven't heard it in like forever, so it was really great to put it on and replay it and to just hear that stuff once again. So, as a matter of fact, let's see what does this say here for the hype sticker. Let me get my reading glasses for you guys. What the hype sticker says is the only LP from imitable SoCal new wave punk band Suburban Lawns. Their asymmetrical aesthetic. That yeah, pretty much tells you what their music is like. I would call it an asymmetrical aesthetic, kind of funky and jerky, the music style. Not super rhythmic, but the rhythm is there. It's kind of weird in that way. And I'll tell you a little bit about in a minute what bands they sound like, where you can kind of make that connection in case you're not familiar with Suburban Lawns and their sound. Suburban Lawns' asymmetrical aesthetic is personified by co-vocalist Sue Tissue, whose mesmerizing stage persona was at once childlike and terrifying. First time available on vinyl in the US since its initial 1981 release. Suburban Lawns, the only LP they made. And I would suggest buying this because it's great right from the packaging, not just the media of the music itself. I mean, it's even packaged beautifully. Look, I don't 100% remember, but I'm going to guess that this is from the original artwork and photography of the original release. Here's Suburban Lawns, here's the band. And here on the back side, the lyrics. Okay, one thing that I really love about this album, Repress, is the packaging is so nice. You have the outer label here, the outer paper, And on the inside is a poly-lined sleeve for the album to go in. And we love that poly-lined stuff because it keeps your album clean and just takes care of it and doesn't potentially scratch it up as much as just paper sleeves. So if you're a paper sleeve LP person, get them out of the paper sleeves. I recommend, most record collectors recommend, and get them into some kind of polylined sleeves. I buy some online. This one, they know how to package it and they gave it to you already, pre-wrapped in here. So fantastic, wonderful, right? Who is this from? Does it say it here? Um, let's see, because I want to tell you who the label is and who pressed it. Oh, Superior Viaduct. Okay. So this is from Superior Viaduct. Those are the people that made the pressing. And here's the back cover is our, as they mentioned, at once childlike waif yet terrifying. And that's a pretty good description of her. And here's the band. And also, in addition to that, what you get, and this did not come in the original release, because of course not, because there's an essay written about the group, which was very informative and gave me some of the tidbits that I'm going to pass on to you. And also kind of enhanced my listening so that I knew what to listen for, and I found it. Here on the back is another photo of the band. There you go. And there's our little Miss Terrifying. The essay is really good, and it tells us that they met at art school. Sue Tissue, the vocalist, and the other lead vocalist, guitarist, they met when they were at Cal Arts, and another couple of the members of the band. They met at Cal Arts, which is out here, art school out here in Pasadena. And at that time, yeah, those art schools were hotbeds for, and art schools in England as well. Uh, Possibly New York. I don't know enough about early New York bands at that point in the 80s and the late 70s and 80s. I don't know if it was generating a lot of bands, but back in those days, art schools were generating a lot of bands. The Clash met at art school. And so there you go. I mean, it happened a lot. And so that's where they met. They formed their group and started playing, like gigs inside of their own private warehouse slash studio slash live-in space that they had. They started playing gigs, and they got heard by Jonathan Demme, who's the movie director, who then directed a music video of theirs for Barbie Surfs to Death or Barbie Murder. Darn me, darn my memory, I can't remember, but it was Barbie something. It was like a Barbie gets killed kind of song. And Dem directed their video, and it even ended up on Saturday Night Live. And you can find it on YouTube. Look it up. Again, if you're not familiar with this band, look them up. It's there to be found. Um, what else? They mentioned in the essay, they mentioned, and here's where we get to the music part of it, right? The packaging, beautiful. I love it. The musical part of it aspect is pleasantly surprised by how well the music holds up 50 years later, 40 years later, however long it's been since the 80s. So good. Musical influences, peers, and people that they even used to play with in shows and met include uh, um, Devo, Oingo Boingo, Talking Heads. So it was that kind of, when I say asymmetrical, the asymmetrical rhythms. If you think of Devo and Oingo Boingo, that kind of musical style, it peaks out. You can hear it in this Suburban Lawns album. You can hear that kind of genre influence mix that's in those songs. You can definitely hear the influence of Talking Heads and Devo bubbling up in there. They played gigs with Oingo Boingo, so they were all sharing the same kind of musical vibes and musical rhythms. And they made it work on their own in their own unique style. Really love it. The lyrics are out there. The music is tight, and Sue Tissue doesn't sing on all the cuts. She sings on about four of the cuts on the album. It's a fast play, the album. I forget how many cuts are on here. Maybe like, I don't know, feels like only about 10 or 11. Let's see how many cuts are on here. Let's count them. They go fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to be wrong. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cuts, but it plays fast. It doesn't feel like even 14. So I was guessing like 11. So sent away for it. I'm so happy that I got it. Played it a couple times. As I say, it holds up very well. Strong album. Oh, Gidget Goes to Hell is the name of that one video. And unfortunately, it's not on this album, and I was sorry for that. But so that I missed out on. I guess I'll have to find. You can find the video online, and you can listen to it on streaming. Oh, here we go. This is what I was going to mention. And I have to go back and look at this because I never made the connection that a Sue Tissue played the reserved, knowing housewife, Peggy Dillman, in Jonathan Demme, because the connection comes back around. Demme put her in his movie, Something Wild. And so she plays the housewife. So there you go. Look for her in Jonathan Demme's Something Wild. Great album. Highly recommended. I'm very happy with it. And I'm very happy that you came to watch my video today. Something I want to mention, last thing I want to say, I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy that always says like every video. You know, I enjoy watching videos on YouTube just like you. Sometimes it gets a little old that every video I watch, the person, you know, throws out the old, hey, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and so on. I feel the same way. Please don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. But I don't ask it every time because partly because I feel like, you know, I want it to just grow organic. If you like my stuff, you're going to like it. You know, it just takes 2 seconds to click like. And I've picked up a few followers without having to constantly be asking. And so in that case, I like that organic growth because it means that, you know, somehow you've connected on what I'm bringing to you, and I appreciate it. And you didn't just do it because I asked you to do it. But I'm letting you know, if I get a few likes and I get a few subscribers, I'm very happy. Why not? Who doesn't like a little bit of feedback on their work, right? Okay. Yeah, and I guess is it work? It's a labor of love that I bring to you because I just want to share you guys the music that I enjoy. Next up, next video, look for my review of Hackney Diamonds, the Rolling Stones' new album. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail. It hasn't come. Everybody in the world's got Hackney Diamonds but me. How did that happen? All right. So I'm still waiting for it to come. But when it comes, I'm going to spin it a couple times and then I'll make a video and let you guys know what I think. All the critics in the world are raving about it, so it must be pretty darn good. We'll see what I think. All right. See you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.